Niagara County, you're really feeling it, so glad you get coming inside where there's air conditioned, filtered air. So a couple things to report because, it's a good thing we meet at least every month because the insanity list would be far too long for, to take the whole meeting. But I'm happy to report that nothing is changed. We have a certified lunatic in the White House. When this whole firewall thing started, we thought, we have a bad guy going back into office. We have an insane person going back into office. So our Strait of Hormuz is still closed again. And the war in Iraq shows no signs of ending because of his great diplomacy. So if you hear otherwise, just give it some time. This sad and disgusting and depressing thing to report are these ICE deaths. John Sebastian, and I'm going to probably murder his name if you're Hispanic, correct me, Guerrero, and Lorenzo Salgado and Joe, and I'm sure I'm butchering the names, Middleton, Mass, and Houston, Texas. So, do you see a theme here? This is happening in blue areas, folks, just saying. On a humorous note, although it's costing us a bundle, the reflecting pool debacle continues. $16 million into this thing, and it's still mean, green, empty, full, whatever. Things that make me crazy, all right? Besides these data centers, and we're going to get into that later. The slush fund of $1.776 billion with a B for the January 6th insurrectionists. These are criminals, and there's a slush fund for these people. And the $240 billion that's been allocated for ICE so that we can murder more people in the streets. That's why we meet every month. And there's so many issues, and in this room, every one of you has the burning issue and then the laundry list of all the others. So no one issue here is the only one. And every month, we figure out which one is the one burning the barn down. Okay, so some good news. Well, I always start out with the bad so I can end on a good note. I wouldn't even say this. I'll start with something that's near and dear to my heart. The Associated Press reported that ABC, NBC, and CNN did not air the full Trump report. They did carry them on their streaming networks, which I'm sure none of you watch. But CBS and MSNBC did cut away for it, but MSNBC was mostly for humor. And of course, our friends at Fox showed the whole darn thing. There you go.
Disclaimers.
They had disclaimers.
Yes.
So they
on Fox.
On Fox, they had to say, they had Hannity actually say that this is about the stolen election was, there's no evidence for that. Of course, the reason they did that was because they got sued.
Okay, and other happy news, federal judge voided Trump's settlement with the IRS. He likes the number 1.776 billion that was relief from future IRS audits. And he also referred Trump's lawyers to the state bar authorities. How about that?
That was amazing.
On a smaller note, Illinois, the state twice, the Secretary of State Alexis, and another name I'll probably butcher, Gio Velius, passed a bill banning book bans. Banning book bans. Maybe Americans will start to read. Okay. And last but certainly not least, the one nearest and dearest to my heart, our 47th president paid E. Jane Carroll $5.48. A jury found that he was liable for sexually abusing her and defaming her on social media.
Yes.
Will that make him stop? No, because he's criminally insane. There you go. That's the latest and greatest. Anyway, we've got a bunch of people to talk to you today. So the resistance goes on, the fight goes on. We have some losses, we have some wins, and maybe we kick the whole group to the curb. Starting with Janet, my partner in crime. Janet's going to talk about data center protests. I'll hold for you.
Thanks. All right, actually, I'm here representing Cheryl Cortez, who spoke here a couple of months ago. At that time, many of us didn't even know there was an issue. And she's worked tirelessly at this, putting herself on the line. She's actually a target for us. But we got the moratorium. She was partially responsible for that. She spoke at a meeting where she got a senator and the House of Representatives listening to her. They put a bill out. I don't know if people know that, but I think when people have put that much on the line, people need to know. So that's Cheryl. A lot of you have known me, and I've stepped back for health reasons. My doctor says the worst part of your health is that you don't look it. You look like you're okay or not. But I have to support this. This is a local issue that affects every one of us in every community, both sides of the aisle. And I found that if you speak to, or even you need a conversation with the other side, they care about this too. And I've gotten many people to call, write great letters that I wouldn't have even talked to, because I wouldn't have had anything that connected us the way this does. So I'm first because I'm leaving, because I'm getting some people to go to this protest, in spite of the fact that, it's not that great out there. And all I can say is that if you see anything on this, try to support it, because it's the one thing that affects everybody. And right now we got a sort of a win, but that's only because there's an election coming up. And because people did call, and they did write letters. And Cheryl has been speaking to anybody that will listen. But after that election, it might go right back. So what Cheryl would say to you right now, and I'm saying for her, it's just starting. So that's it, I gotta go, because anyway, thanks for listening.
Lisa Casey is now speaking from Stand Up Lockport. You're not going to? Julie's going to do it? Okay, never mind. Julie, come on up.
Hi.
No, come with the microphone. It makes life easy.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, I'm Jill Fondiller with Organized for Action, and can you hear me?
Yeah.
With the people there.
Okay, whoa, quite a change. Okay, I have postcards to get out the vote in Maine. That's Maine for everybody. These postcards are a little different in that they have to be mailed on October 12th. They have short messages. If you bring them to Firewall next month finished, I will make sure that they get in the mail. They are going back to Organize for Action, Western New York, and we will have boxes and boxes and transport them to the post office for mailing. If you absolutely positively are sure that you can get them into the mail on October 12th, it says so right here on the directions, then keep them. But if you're not 100% sure, these postcards are the most effective when they all go out on the right date and they go out in mass so people talk to each other and say, I got a postcard. Did you get a postcard? Let's go vote together. Okay, the messages are quite short. Please use the messages as they are written. And please, please, please print. I have stamps if you need them. I have packs of 10 postcards this week, as opposed to the usual 20. So once again, I will be collecting postcards if they come back to Firewall next month, which is August. I will collect them again in September, and then we will get them into the mail for everybody on October 12th. If you need stamps, talk to me. I will have them. Thank you.
Before I start with Julie, now, I just wanted to, a couple announcements for anyone who might be new or didn't catch it the first 20 times. We are a renter at the Unitarian Universalist Church. We are not part of the Unitarian Church for deliberate reasons, and that is the separation of politics and faith. Unlike our friends on the right who dabble in both together and conflict the two. So as such, we do pay rent here. If you are so moved, there are vessels for collecting, and you can throw a buck or two in and it'll help us out. Secondly, I wanted to remind everyone that we meet on the third Saturday of every month at 9 in the morning. We have not missed a single month since Trump was re-elected, and we will not. We will continue this fight as long as it takes. All right, now, Julie Boots is going to talk about conversations on the canal.
Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I'm not a morning person, so when you see me here, you know I'm speaking about something pretty important. So I'm up here on behalf of the League of Women Voters, Buffalo Coalition United, Main Street Movement, and Stand Up Lockport. August 8th is the anniversary of the day that Martin Luther King Jr. signed the Voting Rights Act. LBJ. I'm sorry, I wrote down the wrong initials and I can only go by my notes. LBJ signed the Voting Rights Act. So on that day, we decided to do something a little bit different, and it's a statewide conversations along the canal. The canal is something that bridges us across the state of New York. So on the 8th of August, Stand Up Lockport is having a picnic at Wide Waters Park in the city of Lockport. It's a picnic starting at 11, but going to go until probably around 2-ish. Lisa is here from Stand Up Lockport. Lisa, raise your hand if anyone wants to talk about Lockport. They can speak with her. At downtown Buffalo, MLK Park, which there's where I got my MLK. Kate is here about that. They're going to be from 11 to 2 in coalition with the Eastside Community Cookout and Solidarity Grill. So the MLK Park is having that picnic there. So we're going to be there as well and having conversations about voting, about anything that is important, bridging people together. We just want people to talk about data centers, about anything that's important, and bring people together. And then lastly, on the table, I do have the flyer for the League of Women Voters at Gateway Park in Tonawanda. We're gonna be there from 1 to 3. Again, it's a picnic. We don't have speakers, but if people want to speak, there will be an opportunity. And it's really just to bring people together, across the board. If somebody is a Republican who is disenchanted, invite them. Tell them to come and just meet people. We really want people to just start talking. It's a different approach than just being out there on the streets with our signs or standing and, not even talking with the other side. We want conversations to happen. So please come out, support these events. And again, it's the anniversary that LBJ signed the Voter Rights Act, so we're really pushing for voters to, the League of Women Voters will be there to sign up and register people. So please come out and support. Kathy's gonna come up now for us too.
Okay, what I'm going to be talking about is we got the honor of picking up Signs of Fascism from Marta, who was very generous in giving us everything that she had. So we want to start utilizing this. I think it's a very powerful message. I was floored when I seen it when we came in, the first time they put it out there, and I'm like, oh, and I had not seen it because during protests, we didn't get the chance to look at it, so we never knew what it was. And I was just like, I gotta do this. This is just so cool. So we've got the signs, we've got some materials. We're gonna have to order a few more things that, along with that. But we need people. And I'm saying there's 15 signs. We could probably do with 10 people. And I want to do it 2 times a month. We can pick the days. This is what's nice. We can pick the days. If it's raining one day, we'll cancel. If it's too hot one day, we can cancel. But we just pick it for 3 to 5, or 3 to 4 in the afternoon, or 4 to 5 in the afternoon, 6 to 7 at night, and we just pick a location where everybody is driving. Everybody sees it. And we spread ourselves out so that they can read it as they're going down the road. It's very inspirational to me, and me and Julie both loved it. So that's my plan. I've got her roster, she gave it to me. However, I'm not sure the people that are on it are still interested, and I don't have emails on everybody. I plan on calling them, but if you can come over to see me today, if you're interested, it'll be 1 hour a day or 1 hour a session. If you want to just fill in on days when we need more people, you can fill in on that day. But it's going to be dressed in black. We're going to have black hats for you. You just need a black t-shirt, black pants, black sneakers, a black mask, and we're going to get the masks. They're going to be the thin ones so that you're not sweating it out. And sunglasses. And you hold the sign, and then that's all you do. You just hold the sign for an hour, and then we're done. And then we can plan it on the corner of Transit Road. We can plan it down Main Street. There's so many areas around here that have traffic that we can, set it up. And the more it's shown, the more people see it, the more excited we'll get. And we're possibly going to extend this to Signs of Democracy, of which case it'll be blue. The people will have all blue on. We're talking about it. But first we want to get this on the ground first, get it rolling, make sure it's working, and then go from there. But that's our plan, and please come see me if you're interested. Okay?
For those of you who've never seen Signs of Democracy, Signs of Fascism. We're looking for Signs of Democracy. They hold the signs up. They're on a stick. The signs are black, and each one is a statement on this is fascism. And so as you drive down the street, they're spread out enough that you can read all of the things that add up to fascism. And you will find that we're in the middle of it. Okay, Carrie Reynolds. Carrie is with AARC, and she's going to tell you what that is, because it's confusing. But she's going to talk about an ICE protest coming up.
I'm a former teacher, so I'm pretty loud without a mic, but I will use the mic. AARC stands for Abolitionist and Anti-Racist Collective. I don't know if I need to go into the history of this. We used to be Surge Buffalo, but this is our new name. Surge Buffalo is no more, unfortunately, and we're now operating under this new name. So I come here as representative of them and a number of other groups that are working on an Ice Out vigil/rally. It's a National Day of Action on July 25th. That's next Saturday from 3 to 4:30 at 250 Delaware, which is the Western New York headquarters of ICE. It's also the Westin, and has a fancy restaurant in it as well, you may know. And they hold protest there every Tuesday at 4:30 to 6. But this is a call to action. There's going to be all over the country. There are going to be protests, Ice Out protests. So, come yourselves with signs: no build in Batavia, no more deaths in the detention centers or in our streets. Ice Out of 250 Delaware. There's a group called Evict ICE, and they are part of putting this together as well. To evict ICE from 250 Delaware. Their lease is coming up, and we want them out of there. ICE Out of Buffalo. As you may know, there's been increased ICE and CBP activity in our area. So our sponsoring groups include our Evict ICE campaign, Western New York Peace Center, Singing Resistance, and if you have a group that will also like to co-sponsor, we welcome that. And then come as an individual and bring your ICE Out signs. One other thing about data centers, Clean Air Western New York, you may have heard of them. They have an ongoing campaign against data centers and in Tonawanda, and also other places in New York, and they were a part of this whole moratorium action as well. So.
Thank you. I don't believe there's anyone here representing the Shalubi Looper group. Okay, for those who don't know, Shalubi Looper is a bar in Clarence where a group meets. They will be having what they call a patriotic protest at Main and Sheridan on this coming Wednesday from 3 to 5. There's a dead Rite Aid on the corner of Sheridan and Main where they intersect, and that's where we park. And it can be any issue that we talk about here in this group. But Clarence is a very red town. It's getting a little bluer thanks to people like Marlena, raise your hand, despite the good fight. So that's why we're taking it down the road. Here in Amherst, it is still mostly Democratic, but down the street is a different animal.
Bring flags.
Bring flags?
American flags.
American flags.
The concept is that a lot of people associate the flag with the right, and we're trying to take back the flag. So I have it on good advice that Lady Liberty will show up. Okay, Kathleen King.
It's the 22nd.
That's Wednesday from 3 to 5.
Wednesday the 22nd, 3 to 5, Main and Sheridan.
Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Kathleen King with Good Neighbors Getting It Done. Today, I am actually representing some of Galen Silver from Rochester and his throughway bridge concept, that is to start overpasses as a protest overpass all the way from Albany and we have bridges all the way going down into Chautauqua County, into the middle of Chautauqua County, so almost to the Pennsylvania border. And it's gonna be on 4 different days in the summer. Well, that's not true, and in the fall, it's based on get out the vote. There is some money for kind of making it easy to take a bridge. So what I'm asking, particularly the Clarence people, because those are the ones that we don't have coverage for, to just take a bridge, and we can get you the signs that Indivisible is doing, but you can also go road if you want to do your own signs. But if you take the Indivisible signs, it has to go by certain standards. So the first date is August 29th, then there's September 12th, October 10th, and October 31st. And if the bridges are on here, so if you can help us out to just cover more of them, we're gonna make it as easy as possible. We'll give you this stuff, just go out there for a couple hours and hang on to the signs. I think that's it. So, thanks.
Are the signs get out the vote specific?
They're about voting, so you can have stuff like stop chaos, vote, but you know, that kind of stuff.
When does it start?
Questions after?
Diana,
Who's in charge?
We do have strict rules now.
I don't want to get hit.
One might think that I was a school teacher at one point, but I was actually a prison guard. When this whole firewall gig started, we put out little post-it notes and we said, tell us what issues are important to you. When I reviewed that list, I had no idea what was coming. So Peggy Mark Cook is going to come up here and review some of the old issues of Firewall and then get your feedback on what the burning issues are today.
Hey there.
Hey.
How are you guys? Good. The one announcement Diane forgot. You need a bathroom? It's right up the green over here. It's through the double doors and down the stairs. Buffalo Contrarian. Oh, you've been breaking the rules, girlfriend.
Well,
Let me just say, because she's breaking the rules, that we do have a resource table outside behind where you came, the welcome table you came in, where you can find all of the little leaflets that tell you things about what we've been talking about, or the newspaper that Marlena is holding up that she wants me to talk about in her rules. So.
I love you.
I look around, it's been several months since I've been here, and I look around and I know most all of you, but some of you I don't know. So. I'm Mark Peggy. When Trump was re-elected, at that time, Lorraine and I were the coordinators for the Justice Advocacy team for the church here. And Diane came to us and said, this is wrong, we need to do something. So Firewall was born. And the concept of Firewall is that we are between and holding back the bad policies that are going to the community. We're protecting the community. So each group here represents a part of that. And we thought at first that we have nobody. In that first meeting we had 45 people. Kind of shook us up. And we had the big whiteboard out, and we had the Post-its down, and we had everybody talk about what was their burning issues. And at that time, the issues that we had, I do remember these, the top 3 were the fear of Social Security or Medicare, Medicaid being cut, Project 2025, which is now Project 2026 and 27, and then the immigration and refugees, because at that point, the Jewish Federation had lost their $1.5 million budget for the 792, if my memory serves me correct, refugees we'd already brought in, and that this money was promised to. So we did a big collection and tried to help fund folks who were already here that those grant money should have gone to. The other burning issues was fighting the oligarchy, women control of their own bodies, and the cuts to national parks, USDA, NIH, etc. So those were the burning issues at the time. I don't know how much of that has changed, but here we go. So, all of you have in front of you a Post-it on the table. And I'm going to ask you to grab that Post-it up, and we are going to have you separate into groups with those colors. Because we don't want you all talking to your same group. We want you talking to each other and maybe people you don't know. So, if you have a pink, well, Ron, what color have you got over there? Valerie, what color you got over there? Pink. Anybody who's got a pink Post-it, go sit with Valerie.
Light pink or dark pink?
Oh, yeah, there. Oh my God, dark pink. Dark pink goes there.
Do you want us to write our topics first, or?
I want you to go and talk.
Okay.
We're going to talk about
Talk
something
first,
different.
and then, okay.
And we have speakers come up and talk for 5 minutes, and then we get our big hook out and pull them away and say, you can't talk anymore, no questions till after. And then we have a guest speaker usually. And we want to know if that format works still. We want to know if there's ideas that you have that might make this group fresh, more effective. How do we bring in other groups? So think about it. Think about what you want this group to be in the future. And I am going to give you all, let's see how many tables do I have? 2, 4, 5 tables. All right, so I'm going to give you about 10 minutes. So talk amongst yourselves, come up with your 2 burning issues, and talk about the format of this group overall, and suggestions for improvement. Okay? Do you know the assignment?
Yes.
All right, have fun.
Maybe it would be helpful to be able to speak to those in the whole format as opposed to trying to run them down at the end of the meeting and then everybody's asking the same question. Okay, the other thing was possibly having table markers to kind of say where people are sitting that you might want to speak to, all right? And then finally, having an actual speaker table where you would actually have, all of the speakers in one spot, which kind of might be helpful, and then they could also have, if they have any kind of literature or whatever, they could have that there as well. And then finally, really kind of pushing flyers. In other words, if you really have an information that you want to get out, while it's nice to speak, it's also great to have a physical piece of paper that reminds you what to do. Okay.
That's great, thank you. And on that note of flyers, I also represent the Glow Community Alliance out in Batavia, which is an advocacy group we started a year ago and has made national news, in the past. But anyways, on Sunday, tomorrow, 12 to 2, there is a protest being held about the expansion of the detention center. It's right at City Hall, right on Main Street. Most of you may know it from coming out before, but if you're doing the stand protest today in Batavia, then just get a hotel room and stay over for tomorrow. All right, so this table is only going to have half of their information, and who might be the speaker for this table?
So I'm sure all tables struggle with this issue that 2 issues is not enough for what's going on in the world today, really. So we also kind of cheated and went with very 2 broad umbrellas that covered many issues. The first one being infringement on human rights, which covered things like environmental issues, access to healthcare, affordability, etc. The second one was infringement on constitutional rights, so things like voting, ICE kicking people off the street, as well as recent mandates that mean any of us in this room could maybe be labeled as terrorists if we say the wrong thing in the wrong place. So those were kind of our big groups. We did not get to the format of this meeting because we were busy talking about all of those problems. And so maybe having more time in a forum like this to talk about those problems would be a good thing to do.
All right, then, let's walk over here, and who's the speaker for this table?
Okay.
Here, we-
All right. One of the major ones.
Hang on. Now we're talking without the microphone.
My chair.
We want all of the world to hear the wonderful things you're going to say.
One of the major things that I think everybody agreed on was voting. We're really concerned that it's even going to take place. I was one that said that. I'm wondering if it's going to take place. And if it is going to take place, is there going to be violence and stuff that we do not want to see in our country? The other item was data centers and the moratorium that they all talked about with Hogle is kind of shaky, but we've got it, and we're happy over that, but it needs further clarification. As far as this, we like the sitting down and the 5-minute thing, but we do say that it would be nice if we could get together every now and then and discuss the things that we don't normally get a chance to discuss and bring up and talk about and get to meet the other people that are here, because sometimes everybody goes to one table and then they leave. And we get to know people more if we can move around a little, or just sit down for 15, 20 minutes at the end of the program and just talk about what's going on and what we need to fix for before the next meeting, or what we should work on before the next meeting.
Linda.
We're last.
I promised them last, so you happen to be next to last. Please tell me somebody else is the speaker.
Hi, Marlena Rice. We had basically what you guys all thought about. We talked about the media, the elections, but we came down to two. One was the Constitution and the lawlessness and the ethics issue. Those are sort of all grouped together. It's not really a small issue. You can break that down into a lot of different things, but that was, for us, the main thing. And then paramount, the most folks, was election safety. We think that was incredibly important. And just like all of you have said, is that we would like time for some breakout issues so that we can gather together and not just leave and say bye, everybody. And that extra little time for a little bit of a chat after each speaker might be good, but it has to be controlled, because that can get really disorganized very, very quickly. And we would like to have the information about the meetings in a format that can be easily shared. Because a lot of people say, and this has happened here, and we're rapidly writing down, and it gets, excuse me, lost within moments because something else comes down on our list. So if a little tiny flyer that could say, here's the meeting, here's what we're doing, but to gather afterwards and talk within groups and maybe hold up a tag and say, hey, this is where we're going to meet, come on and join us, might be a good way to move forward, because we need to continue to move forward.
Debbie.
So much.
Remember, Debbie, 2 items. and improvement of the group.
Go Deb.
Well, we sat here and talked and introduced each other, and we listened to each other's stories. And basically, the immigration and ICE thing is one of the major ones that we're very concerned about. And then the voting is our second. But basically, we've got to figure out what to do about these things. And the humanity or inhumanity of what's going on with ICE and all that is just horrific and very scary. So that was something that we had to do. We had to be upset about. I would think we need a whiteboard up there so that people could write down what place where they're going to be and what time, so we don't have to ask all those things. Also, this format here of exchanging tables for 10 minutes or 15 minutes at the end would be better than us walking up. I like this, and we get to meet other people, and it's wonderful.
Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in our little get to know each other game today. That's a lot. It's very good information for Diana. I know she appreciates it. That is kind of the end of our formal presentation for today. Usually we then have an hour for groups to get together and chat and plan and so on. So feel free to either stay in your current groups, or if good neighbors or anybody need time to do some planning, I would say looking at those tables over there, and you guys just enjoy yourselves. Thank you for coming today.